Hi, me again. I am just talking today about primers. I had someone actually ask me a question on whether I thought primers were useful, and I had never used primers before. So I am super excited to talk about it because I love it now. My foundation primer is it's silicone based, and it also helps control oil throughout the day, and so it is my absolute favorite. It is I know Smashbox with a matte photo finish. A lot of people really love that, and I've heard that it's very similar to that. So anyway, basically that's what I use for my foundation primer, and you're going to put some on your fingertips and you just kind of rub them in. You want it to be a little bit warm as you put it onto your skin, and it goes on after moisturizer. So your whole skincare regimen, you're going to do it after your skincare, before foundation, obviously. So you just kind of work it in. Because it's silicone based, it's very silky feeling, and so you know exactly where you have it and where you don't. You can also use a sponge tip, not sponge tip applicator, a sponge to get off the excess if you want. Or blot it with a towel or whatever. I usually just try to get the right amount on my face the first time. Kind of let it dry a little bit, and then I do foundation. So, but one of the things I wanted to show you today is I wanted to show you the difference of how foundation will help my my makeup last throughout the day. And so I'm going to show you, I already did my foundation primer with my foundation, but my eye primer, it comes in a little tube, and you just need a very small little dot. I promise you, this stuff lasts forever. I've seen a bunch of eye primers out there. For sanitary reasons, I really like the things like concealers and primers that come from a tube, because they can be more moisturizing, and they also are more sanitary because you don't have one of those clawfoots or the sponges or anything like that. For me, it just helps with bacteria and stuff like that, especially if it lasts for a long time, which if it's a premium brand, it should. Basically, you just put a little bit, and I always want to make sure I do the inner corner of my eye because I highlight that, one of the little tricks of the trade. And yes, I still have my lovely bandage, but yay, I get my stitches out this next Monday, so another week. But okay. So after eye primer, if you want your primer, your eyeshadow to still be a little bit more blendable, because this has like true staying power, you want to put something over it. And so I do a little bit of concealer, and it's just a very little dollop, and you do the same thing. And basically, if you have veins that you can see underneath your eyes, underneath our eyes are the very thinnest part of our skin, and underneath here, and then on top of your eyelids. And so that's why you get your first signs of aging there, as well as you usually will see veins and dark circles a lot quicker because of that reason. So you want to make sure that you use a good concealer to cover it, and then you have a matte great canvas to start off with your foundation. So I am going to do a everyday kind of smoky eye look today. It's a very general, when I do it for everyday look, it is not a really super difficult in-depth smoky eye. It's very simple, and it actually takes less time, I think, than doing the standard eye when I highlight in here and everything like that. But I think it just depends on your knowledge and everything like that. But you get used to it. My hair's getting in my eyes, sorry. Okay, so one of my very favorite colors, it's a brown coppery color, and that I think looks great with any eye color, because with blue eyes, it really pops the blue and the green eyes. With brown eyes, it still has that coppery color, so it will kind of make your brown eyes look a little bit more golden, which I think is super pretty too. Now, I have prominent eyes, so doing the smoky eye works really well. The only time smoky eye is really hard to do is if you have deep set eyes. It's almost too dark for deep set eye because you already have kind of a hole into your face, and so it just makes that hole even darker. But there is a way that you can kind of get a little bit, you just wouldn't cover your whole eyelid like this. So you always want to take in consideration. That's one of the things that I know I see a lot of makeup tutorials out there, and I absolutely love watching them personally, but some people have a very basic standard eye, which they have, especially with being younger, they have a very wide arch to eyelash kind of ratio, and if you have a really short one, you can't do the same types of techniques that they do because you don't have as much space. And also, if you have a hooded eye or a deep set eye or close set eyes, some of those things that they do, like the widening of the eyeliner clear out to Timbuktu, if you have wide set eyes, you don't want to do that because it will make your eyes look even wider and farther apart. If you have close set eyes, you can wing it out as far as you want because it actually will draw attention to that and it will make them look longer. You don't always want your eyes to look longer, you just want them to look bigger. And I don't think longer is the same thing as bigger. So anyway, I am going to finish this up, and I just smudge this brownie copper color. Now, I was born with blue eyes, but I kind of consider that I have mood eyes because they used to change when I was younger. They'd go from blue to green, and after I had kids, the blue has kind of disappeared a little bit, which is kind of sad. But every once in a while it comes back. So now I actually have more green eyes than I do blue eyes. But that's okay because I love green eyes too. And this is doing the lightest color, like right in the corner of your eye where the tear duct is. It's really pretty for pictures. And it just gives you kind of a sparkle to your eye, whether you're doing a smoky eye or whether you're doing a basic eye. I do it all the time, but not everyone, wants to or needs to. Okay. Now I'm going to line. I love this brush. You can do eyeliner super quick with it. It also, you can pull up and it gives a little bit of the darker part really close to my lash, and that's really what comes out with the smoky eye. You want it even darker by your lashes. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and show you what it looks like at the end, and then I will give you, okay, can you see that? You always want to wipe up and kind of diagonal. You don't want that color to come outside of that diagonal area, so you always want to do that. You also, a good way, you can use the translucent powder underneath your eyes. I didn't do that today, but you can use a cover, or you can also use like an eye cream, and it will actually rub it off, and then you can just add a little bit of powder afterwards. So I'm going to finish up. Okay, so this is how my makeup looks after I finished everything, and I'm not going to touch up. I won't even blot for oil, just so you can kind of see how oily skin, how it affects even with the foundation primer. I love the fact that it does have the oil absorbance. The one that I use is fabulous. So I don't know if you can see. Okay, so hopefully you can see that well enough, but I will stop a little bit later at the end of the day. It is a bright sunny day out, which is really nice, but I'll see you later. Okay, so this is the end of the night. I know that the lighting is a little bit harder to see, so hopefully you can tell a difference, but right now the time is, it's almost 10 o'clock. So I put my makeup on at about 8:30 this morning. So it's been over 10 hours. Over 12 hours, I mean. So it's been about 14 hours. Okay, so I am a little bit more shiny. I didn't blot. It really was hard for me knowing that I was going to be on camera. But if you can see my eyeshadow, I know the lighting is not nearly as good as I would like. But that's what the eye primer, and then my foundation, it still is relatively good. The only thing that I notice with the foundation primer is sometimes at the end of the day I look more like I have a dewy look instead of totally matte, and that's because I have oily skin. So if you have normal to dry skin, you might not notice that, or it won't seem so bad to you, but those of us with oily skin, we try to matte our face as much as possible because we don't like the shine. So anyway, so that's kind of the difference. I hope you can tell a difference. I know that because of the lighting, I should probably go get a lamp with a natural daylight bulb. It would see bigger difference all the time. So anyway, hope this helps, and your complexion and your makeup will stay on so much longer. I know it's really bad, but one time I wanted to see how well the eye primer worked. I actually did a whole day's worth, and I was in the car driving to Moab. We actually went on a trip with some of my girlfriends, and we got up at like 5 in the morning to go hike up to the Delicate Arch and to see the sunrise at the Delicate Arch, and very few people do that, and it was gorgeous. But I knew that we were going to be taking pictures, and so we all promised that we weren't going to do makeup the next day, and I went to bed and I washed all, you have to wash your face because of blemishes and anti-aging and all that stuff. So I washed my whole face, but I just didn't wash this area right here. And I woke up and everyone was really mad at me because they thought I had done my makeup, and I hadn't. And it was because I had used the eye primer the day before. So it literally had done at least 24-hour period of time, and that was traveling as well as sleeping through. I wouldn't recommend that, but just to show you the really big difference on this eye primer works phenomenally, and I would highly recommend using an eye primer and a foundation primer. There's also lip primers that will help your lipstick stay on longer. I do reapply for lipstick. The only thing I did do is I added a little bit of gloss before I came on, because I didn't do anything else, I promise, though. Anyway, so I hope that this helps, and hope you enjoy the post. And if you have any questions, or you want to know more or have something else, I would be more than happy to focus on that next time. So anyway, hope you have a fabulous night or day, and talk to you soon.